Seven Wheelers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker. This show today is one of the big ones, the one I always look forward to dissecting. That would be the 45th Annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend. Of course, coming up this weekend, a lot of all these drivers we're going to talk about today are going to be heading down to Rockford for their short track nationals, and then they're going to come right back to this area for the big 4 days of racing on the 5/8 mile at the Crosse Speedway. I'm Dan Dyker, welcoming to the show again, as we normally do this time of the year, and that would be the man with the plan, the promoter, general manager. I don't know what other hats this man has to wear, except for today. That would be Chuck Deery. Chuck, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me, Dan. Appreciate it.
You know, I was going to ask you last year, there was one question I've been waiting to ask, and I didn't get a chance to. It's been 45 years. You've been involved 25, I think.
Yeah, somewhere along there. I don't keep track of the number of years. I know it's been over 25.
This 4-day schedule and Camper Village, do you guys have it down to a science yet?
We think we do, but every event that you learn that it requires a little bit more of attention here, and it all depends on the events that's going on and how you approach them. And it's an exciting event, but you got to keep it fresh every year. So we have to change it a lot, or change it every so often, and so it's an ongoing process. And I guess the easiest part about it is that we just look forward to it every year, and because it's such a fun event to be a part of, and we're very proud to be able to host it every year.
Well, the schedules are done, folks, and you want to remember Oktoberfestraceweekend.com. That's the website you can bring up not only via your computer, but you can also bring it up on the smartphone, and you can also get this entire schedule. It looks fantastic on the phones this year, and I would recommend you take those to the racetrack with you as well. Show the people in the Campers Village, if you're wondering, detail by detail, time by time, what time all the events get underway, on and off the racetrack. Make sure you take your smartphones and your tablets and computers with you this year out to the Speedway. So let's just dive right into things, Chuck. Things get underway. Last year was kind of interesting. Dave Nelke, your right-hand man, was posting pictures on the Monday, which is this coming Monday, of the Camper Village opening at straight up noon, and the line of trucks and campers was phenomenal out on Highway 16.
Well, it's a popular camping event, and this event is it's a regional event, the Midwest essentially. So you have race fans that come in and look forward to it every year, to come in and be part of it, and they want to get here on Monday. Not only do they attend the racing events, but they be part of the whole La Crosse, western Wisconsin, Minnesota area, and they go travel and do a little bit. So it's very nice for us to bring all these folks in, or have these folks come and be part of the event, and go above and beyond just the race event too. And it's a good boost for the whole economy of the area, and we're very proud to be able to host this event and have that kind of stuff happen.
I know the logistics behind putting together something like that Camper Village is, I've really watched it the past 2 or 3 years, with not only going out and getting the reservations out, people getting them back in, getting the stickers out, lining up and chalking off all the different areas. I mean, that has to be something nothing really changes here year after year, so that's one big thing that's kind of crunched down a little bit.
Yeah, it's we have some rules and regulations set forth by the state and the county too that we have to follow, and we try to guide that, and it's been going on for so long that we're just trying to meld everything together, and it makes the event a lot more fun for those attending if there's a plan for people coming and parking, and less of a hassle. And that's always been our goal, and that's why we provide free firewood for our campers and all the different activities, pre-races out in the campground. And so in addition to the camping event, of course, the racing event is a priority. But yes, it's an event that requires 10,000 details, and we try to get all of them done.
That's one big checklist right there that you folks work with. I tell you what, one thing I did want to touch on before we get into the night-by-night schedule this year is the stuff happening away from the races to get other people involved. This year, I think this may be the first time on a Wednesday we're going to start with a poker tournament and then work with things like cornhole tournaments and activities to get the families involved and those that are trying to find things to do while the racing either happens or continues.
Well, with the large amount of campers that attend the event, you always want to keep them active. The cars will be on a racetrack and practicing all those days, Wednesday through and the racing. But you want to have other activities going on as well. So it's an easy addition for us to put in the schedule and try some silly things. And the pet costume parade's one of my favorites, and the pumpkin coloring for the kids. And
sure.
And so it's we try to be a full compass event where we have no one doesn't have to go anywhere but can be entertained every day they're there, and that's the goal of it. Part of our tourism side of the business is to be that draw for folks to come in here and be part of the event, see the races, and see the other things that are going on around the area. And it does take a little planning and a little manpower, but when it's all said and done, there's a great deal of satisfaction for all our staff for being able to host such an event.
I know there's a lot of crossed fingers when it comes to Mother Nature as well, because I've been there long enough. I've seen the cold, I've seen the warm. Last year saw the torrential rains that came through, and as the job you have, that's got to be the toughest thing, is to try to dissect what happens when the weather rolls around. Even though we talked about this at our staff meeting last week. Last year, cutting the heat races out and just giving people back-to-back features, they were kind of enjoying that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a learning process for everything. Every time you run the event, and the weather's something we can't control, and although you try to follow it as much as you can, we can't control it. So we just go with the flow and do the best we can with what we have to offer, and it can be frustrating at times, but when it's beautiful like it is, it can be here in western Wisconsin in the early fall. It is just gorgeous, and it's a blessing to be here. So, we hope. I'm not greedy. I don't want it hot. I don't want it cold. I'll just take it dry.
Yes, and from what I've seen so far in the advanced forecast, as of now, it looks like mid-60s and dry during the day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and about mid-30s, upper 30s at night. So a lot of campfires, a lot of camaraderie going on. And the next segment, we'll get into the entire schedule itself, but social media is one that I think the La Crosse Speedway has done a fantastic job on leading up to Oktoberfest this year, not only with the Facebook and the internet, but what you're doing with cell phones.
Well, we try to be on the cutting edge, and for us being on somewhat of the cutting edge was probably about a year behind on everything as it should be, but we understand that the method of communication between people has changed, and I'm no different. You have a cell phone on your side, I have a cell phone on my side, or a computer nowadays, I guess.
Right.
And that's how we get our information and receive any type of updates. So we're working on it, trying to be better, trying to even raise it to the next level, and it takes a little time and energy, but again, with the staffing that we have and what we have to get that information out there is great, and we're just very glad that the fans enjoy getting it, and our demand for the information has been increasing every year. So I guess we're in the right direction, and we could always do a little bit better, but we're happy where we're at right now.
Well, some websites to remember, folks, heading into the big week next week. LaCrosseSpeedway.com, of course, OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com, and Twitter, it's at LEX Speedway, and, of course, the Crosse Speedway on Facebook. When we come back, we're going to dive into the 4-day schedule. Some changes this year, and bringing back prestige has been a statement I've heard several times, and we'll let you know exactly what that means when we return next on 7 Rivers Racing.
Get ready for the Thunder!
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super stocks, modifieds,
600 mods.
pure stocks, street stocks, B-mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
For a limited time, save over $600 on select American Standard systems. Call now for details.
Holman American Legion Post 284. It's all about veterans' rights, quality of life. The Legion belongs to the veterans it serves. The American Legion supports Holman High School sports and local NASCAR racing. Did you know the Legion is open to the public? Stop by for a cold one. Tuesday lunch is a home-cooked meal. Supper is Buck Burgers. Thursday, it's tacos. They can be the place for your wedding reception or meeting. Holman American Legion. It's for veterans and for the people of Holman.
At Cousin Subs, we never settle for good. We always strive for better. Since 1972, we've been creating our signature Deli Fresh subs. We start with fresh bread that's baked every day. Then we freshly chop vegetables and slice the meat daily. It's how we do it, and always have. Why? Because you deserve better.
We are back, Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker. Chuck Deery from the Crosse Speedway joining us as we dissect the big 4-day schedule of Oktoberfest race weekend. Camper Village opening on Monday, practice session Wednesday, and we get down to it Thursday of next week. And Chuck, let's get into it right off the bat. A lot of champions will be crowned after a hard-fought year at the La Crosse Speedway, and I'm talking about La Crosse Speedway drivers on Thursday night.
Yeah, it is always a good way to end our season in our biggest event, to have our champions crowned at that time, and in the late models, the Sportsmen, Thunderstocks, Hornets, and I think maybe there's something else that gets crowned there. I don't really follow too much. Except this gets the Outlaws. Yes, thank you. And it's very neat to have them do it, and having other fans witness our competitors. And it's a Thursday night, although it's a little bit different. It's a Thursday night, and it's just a cool way to end the season for our guys. And we got a lot of feedback from the race teams in years past on if we should do it at Fest and why not. And so we listened to them, and a lot of them are very happy that we do it at Fest. We don't have a lot of time to celebrate the championship because we have such a full card on Fest, and we'd like to do more of that. But that's why we have our Champions Banquet to honor our champions at that time. But that's the neat part, is doing that. And then, of course, all the other divisions we bring in on Thursday, or the other divisions, just the quarter-mile stuff is going to be primarily on the Thursday.
Well, again, the Super Late Model Future Race will be happening at the La Crosse Speedway on Thursday night. To real quickly explain how drivers get into the Future Race.
If I recall correctly, because I did this about 10 years ago, but I think you have to be 35 years old or less and have never made it into the big Oktoberfest race on Sunday. So essentially it's just taking the young guns. What our goal is, take the young guns that are getting into the sport, get them out there, focus on those or other drivers that have got into the sport a little bit later in life but haven't made the big show, and put them out there on the racetrack. It is some fantastic racing if they can get past the first 5 laps. Yeah. And if they get past the first 5 laps, it's been some fantastic racing. Otherwise,
flashbacks there.
They're pretty greedy on those first 5 laps, but we try to pound it into them to settle down, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But once they get going, holy cow, it's some great racing.
And then one of the most interesting races I like calling out there on a Thursday is a double O race, because you get any division that drives out there. Super late models, Hornets, Thunderstock, Sportsmen, those guys all get together, and they do 6 on the action track quarter mile, then they do 6 on the 5/8 mile.
It's 1 on the big, 1 on the small, 1 on the big, 1 on the small, not 6.
Wouldn't that be something else?
Well, one challenge at a time.
Friday, we bring in super late models, the Great Northern Sportsman Series, the Midwest Trucks. Trucks different this year. They're going to be on a Friday instead of Saturday or Sunday. The Dick Trickle 99, what a popular race that has turned out to be.
Without a doubt. We've copied that from our good friends out in New Hampshire that run a racetrack out there, and we 33 lap segments in honor of Dick Trickle. When Dick was alive, we had him part of it. We asked him if we could use his name and stuff, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. I wish I could be racing it too, but the competitors really get into it, because it's a race within a race, because you have your 3 segments and you score points, and the one with the lowest points, best finishing positions, is the overall winner. And of course, the last segment decides all ties. So you have to race your butt off all 3 segments to come away with it. And there's a huge amount of personal pride for coming away with the Fest or trickle champion on that. So it's a neat race. It's different, and that's what the whole weekend's kind of about, is some fun and different things.
Of course, also on Friday night, going to be crowning the Great Northern Sportsman Series champion. They have about 4 or 5 drivers that are all in contention with each other. I want to say there's 45 points separating 5 drivers. They've got Rockford to go through, and then they crown them at La Crosse. And it's going to be quite interesting to see how that works out. And the Midwest Truck Series, which is always popular, local driver Joe Reinertz has been in that. Of course, the Wood Brothers come up out of Sun Prairie. James Swan won that a couple of years ago, so you never know who's going to be in that race, but it's very entertaining on the 5A Smile when the trucks come out. Do want to mention that next segment will break down Saturday, Sunday. Post-race parties go on. It's 2 very popular bands always hit the exhibition hall.
Yeah, once we get done with racing, we do start a little bit earlier than normal for our racing. That's 6 on Thursday, 5 on Friday, 5 on Saturday, and noon on Sunday, just because of the cooler weather and less sunlight. But so at the end of the races, we have some time left over, and it's just a great social event. And back in the days when Larry Weirs and his family ran the racetrack, they developed it and started it. All we've done is just take it along, and we've decided this year to raise the bar a little bit and some different talent to come in there on the Friday and Saturdays, 2 different bands, and so it makes it a neat event. I mean, it's we try to be that full compass event where you can see it all and do it all right here or right there at the fairgrounds.
And, of course, the Packers and the Vikings didn't check with Chuck to schedule a football game on Thursday night of Fest. No worries there. You're going to get the best of both worlds. You can watch the races in the exhibition hall. Dean Satellite's going to have the game on as well. And that's the best of both worlds. Packers and racing, you can see them all within about 100 yards of each other there at the Speedway. Altered Vision will be the headline act on Saturday night, and that's going to be in the exhibition hall, the big hall that's just outside the main gate there at the Speedway for those that have never been in this area, or maybe it's been a while. Very convenient just to leave the ramp and go right into the exhibition hall, and that's going to continue on a Saturday night as well, as we bring in a big name this year, Jared Blake. Of course, some folks know that he was on the show The Voice. Not really a big country fan myself, but I know that the word's been around so far that La Crosse has a headliner coming out.
Yeah, it's like I said, we try to raise the bar a little bit and bring in some different talent for this event, and we'll see how it goes. And we still want racing to be our priority. Sure. And but when racing's done, it's nice to sit back, have a few beers, and listen to some great country music. Or on Friday night, I think it's Altered Vision's playing. I think they're a variety band, and right. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I want to correct you. We did call the Packers and Bears, and they said they would not do it on Sunday. I asked for Monday night. They said they could do it on Thursday. So we'll take it on that.
We'll take consolation that Thursday night football game. When we come back, we're going to break down to me, crowning the local champions on a Thursday night is fantastic because we've been around them the entire season. Saturday, Sunday brings a different flavor to the La Crosse Speedway, as some names that have been racing more than one track come in and they invade the Speedway, they invade the pit areas, and they're there for no nonsense racing. And we're going to break down Saturday, Sunday in the next segment of 7 Rivers Racing.
We're here when the sun rises. And when the bread rises too. And we're here slicing a deli fresh every day. And every morning, we're chopping it all up. Why do we put so much effort into making it fresh? Because you deserve better.
Holman American Legion Post 284. It's all about veterans' rights, quality of life. The Legion belongs to the veterans it serves. The American Legion supports Holman High School sports and local NASCAR racing. Did you know the Legion is open to the public? Stop by for a cold one. Tuesday lunch is a home-cooked meal. Supper is Buck Burgers. Thursday, it's tacos. They can be the place for your wedding reception or meeting. Holman American Legion. It's for veterans and for the people of Holman.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
For a limited time, save over $600 on select American Standard systems. Call now for details.
Get ready for the Thunder!
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super stocks, modified,
600 mods.
pure stocks, street stocks, B-mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
We are back one more time. 7 Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker along with Chuck Deery from the Crosse Speedway. Before we get into the Saturday-Sunday portion of the program for the 45th Annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend, what we're going to do is we're going to throw you out a trivia question here. In this envelope, I have a pair of tickets to, let's see, are these 4-day? Are we doing it?
4-day.
2 4-day tickets to the Crosse Speedway's Oktoberfest highly coveted tickets. And you need to answer this trivia question and send your responses like you've done on the radio in the past and on Facebook, radiomandan@yahoo.com. Really simple, radiomandan, all one word, at yahoo.com. And the person that you've got to get this right on. And if we have any ties, what we do is we throw all the names into a hat, pull one name out. You're going to win a pair of 4-day tickets to the Crosse Speedway's Oktoberfest. And Chuck, I thought to celebrate the prestige, which we're going to talk about here with a 200-lap race this year on Sunday, I think our trivia question is, when was the last time the Crosse Speedway ran a race in Oktoberfest of over 200 laps? How does that sound?
That sounds very exciting. I'll even have to think and look it up myself, so it'd be fun.
Again, radiomandan@yahoo.com. I need your name and your telephone number and your answer. Now, the program runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday night, well, after the program's done, I'm going to tabulate all the guesses. Monday morning, I'll be calling you. So you got to give me your name and your phone number, and you're going to get a pair of 4-day tickets to Oktoberfest. It's going to be as easy as that. radiomandan@yahoo.com. When was the last time Oktoberfest race weekend had a race of more than 200 laps? I need the last time and the date. Of course, we know the location. Saturday of Oktoberfest, things really start gearing up here. The trailer race parades are huge. The campers are all pulled into the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. And we've got super late models, the ARCA Midwest Tour, Big 8 late models, Midwest Dash Cars, Mid-American Stock Car Series. This has to be the largest day when you look at car count at the La Crosse Speedway during Fest.
Well, they're all about the same, Dan, because we have 17 divisions over the 4 days, and but for the length of haulers, yes, yeah. For sure. And we bring them in at night and out. That's what the trailer race dash you were talking about there. It's quite
back and watching that too. You guys have that thing almost down to a science.
Well, as much as it can be a science, but it's neat to see the teams that come in and come out, and it's kind of if you're a race fan, it's exciting to see where he's pitting or whatever. But no, it's a full program, and the most popular divisions in the Midwest are that Saturday and Sunday, and it's exciting. It's exciting, and the neat part about it is if you follow racers, you see them start out here or there at the local tracks and work their way up through these divisions, and they always want to be part of Fest, or they typically want to be a part of Fest and win at Fest, and it's just neat to see it. And when you talk about racers outside of here, whether it's Cup or Sprint Cup or any other touring series, they know about Oktoberfest, and they know that what it means and to them for their career. So participating in it is one thing, and winning it is quite something else, and they're all out for that goal.
Saturday, we'll have our Big 8 champion crown. That's always a big, prestigious night there on the French straightaway. Mid-American Stock Car Series, they're going to have their season champion crown. Of course, Danny Gilst, one of our local drivers, has been competing quite well in that series this year. Midwest Dash Oktoberfest feature, and then the ARCA Midwest Tour. They're the qualifying races to transfer into a huge day Sunday. And I want to use the phrase again. It was used by Greg McCarnes this week. We want to bring the prestige back to Oktoberfest Sunday. And one of the ways you're going to do that is a 200-lap race.
Yeah, we've gone through our notes and stuff, as you know, our post meetings and pre meetings, and because the Oktoberfest carries such a banner with it for race teams and stuff, we wanted to make it go back to the days when it was a 200-lapper, and so we changed up the schedule. And 200 laps is it's a long race. However, being race fans myself and Greg, we changed up the format a little bit. There'll be a break sort of in there halfway to it, and if you're not a race fan, you probably won't understand this, but it's a 7-tire event. Typically, they're a 6-tire event. They come in, they make their pit, they change their 2 right sides. That 7th tire is the question, and that could just make the racing unbelievably exciting the last 25, 30 laps or last 100 laps, who knows. So that part of it has been, we've thought through the racing side of it. But then again, fans come from a distance to be part of this event, and 200 laps seemed to be the right ticket for us to do it this year, and more of the prestige that goes behind it. And so we decided to follow through with that in the past. We've kind of gotten away from that a little bit because of we've been so busy getting the events in and stuff. Right. So with a 200-lapper, kind of frees us up to do more of the fan autograph session and driver introductions and some more of the pre-race stuff that is enjoyable to the race fan. So there is no perfect formula, but. Right. Through our notes and stuff, I think this is going to be a very, very good event, and the racing should just be awesome. And
to kind of take a sidestep to that 200-lap race, the JMAC 63 Invitational got the list right here, and couldn't believe 76 drivers have made this list. And this is also another one that, since its induction a couple of years ago, drivers want in on this race.
Yeah, it's similar to the Trickle deal, where it's 3 21-lap segments, and it worked so well with the super lates on Friday that this style of car is doing it on Sunday. And then Jay McKay is John McCarnes, is Greg's father, and Greg is one of the principals at the Speedway, and he developed a tour throughout the Midwest, the old Arco tour, and he passed away. So in honor of John, we do this event, and again, it has the same the race within a race aspect of it, but and you add that to the Sunday, and it makes it a little bit different because we try to run them a little bit before the 200-lapper or before those cars, because they have different tires. They run on different tires, and it changes the racetrack. So a car could be awesome in the first segment and gets on that racetrack after the different cars have been out there. It changes it up. So as a race fan, it's just it's pins and needles, and when they start, and see who's fast and if they can follow through it. Same with the 200-lapper, and of course we have the vintage cars on Sunday as well, and just to see those old big block 1960 whatever cars out there, it's awesome to hear them go around too, and it's fun. And so I mean, the whole 4 days we designed it to be not only hardcore race fan friendly, but if you're a casual fan or somewhat have somewhat interest in racing or needed something to do on a weekend, it is a very cool event to be a part of and to attend.
And again, we start off on Sunday with the always popular charity breakfast. That starts at 7. And Dale Danielski has really done a nice job on the Champions Reunion. Former track champions from all over the place. You never know who's going to be there. We'll be in the Big Red Barn, the Hospitality Chalet, in the top of the racetrack up in turn number 1. And that'll be 11 o'clock, so you have a lot of time to meet the former champions, whether they're 20 years old or 70 years old. They'll be up there. A lot of old-time cars are up there as as well. 11 o'clock is when that'll start, and then we're going to invite everybody down to the Speedway. All of the drivers are going to be out there with the cars. It's going to be autograph session time, and some of the biggest names in this area are going to be out there in the Midwest, I should say, at 4 or 5 state radius. And a good chance to meet the drivers up close, get a picture of them, get their autograph. They're going to get back in behind the pit stalls, and then it's ready to go racing all Sunday afternoon. So again, Oktoberfestraceweekend.com. That's going to be probably the biggest website you're going to want to go to. Any adjustments, the schedules will be on there. You can download the PDF to your phone or your laptop. Follow along with the schedule to a T. From Camping Village opening up Monday all the way through the end of Oktoberfest racing, and then it'll complete the 45th annual Oktoberfest race weekend. Any questions, contact the track if they're around to answer the phone. These guys will be busy for the next week or so. And again, when was the last time La Crosse Speedway Oktoberfest had a race over 200 laps during Oktoberfest race weekend? Put that answer, your name, and your phone number to radiomandan@yahoo.com. And Monday, someone's going to get 2 4-day passes to Oktoberfest race weekend. Chuck, I know it's a busy time for you. I appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule. And here in just about a week, well, the fairgrounds gets transformed.
Yes, well, thank you, Dan, for having me in here. And again, on behalf of all of us at the Speedway, we're very proud to be able to host this event for this community and above and beyond. And we look forward to it every year, and it should be an awesome one this year.
Alrighty, LaCrosseSpeedway.com, OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com. Those are the 2 biggest websites to find right now. And you can also follow along with what I got on Facebook. And then Saturday, AM 580 WKTY from 1 until 2, the race report. And we'll get into more details on the schedule. For Chuck Deery, I'm Dan Dyker. Thanks for joining us on the program in year number 4. We will see you at Oktoberfest Race Weekend.